What up? It's your boy Doboy.
And I'm Patrick Cloud.
And this is another installment of Damn Internet. You scary.
You
You know what I'm
scary.
saying? So we back, you know what I'm saying? I know it's been a long time.
So what kind of song you want to do? What kind of song you want to do?
I want to do something crunk, like something. Oh, what's up, man?
What's going on, Tahir?
How you doing, man? Nah, you know, it's...
I didn't have my contacts in, and you guys are kind of shaped the same.
Yeah, it's...
What the fuck is this, man?
You guys have similar gums.
I go to the bathroom.
Come on in, man. Come on in. Sit down, man.
This is the whole thing. It was a
Come
joke,
on in,
man.
bro. It was
Come
a
on,
joke.
Man. These are jokes.
It's a joke.
Comedian.
All bulky people are allowed on this. What's going on, Dobama?
What's up, man?
Hey.
I'm in a mix like hominy grits.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just gonna
Well,
go with that one right out the gate.
I think we might as well do a song. You know, we got the musically talented Doughboy.
Let's do it.
All right, let's
Doughboy,
go with Doe gets to pick the beat. All right.
What genre?
Oh, okay, so I didn't know. I thought you were talking to it. I didn't know.
What genre you want to go with?
Trap.
Okay, we haven't raced done trap before. So you kick out the beat, I'll fill in with you, and then Pat, you go with the words.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
I'm kicking off the beat?
You're kicking off the beat.
All right.
Ay, damn, internet, you scary. Ooh, ay, damn, internet, you scary. Damn, hopping out the whip with the 1, 2, 3. Damn, internet, you scary. Ooh, reloaded that clip and hit that shit like click, click.
I was going to cut a lick. It shot everybody. Sound like a dolphin racing.
I don't know why I don't want to do it that sound. Do. I was like, I imagine like that's how the food goes in the stomach. Like,
The rhythm is
GI tracks. It's like Pac-Man.
It made me think of Bowser for some reason. Well, what's going on, people? Another installment. Oh wow!
I took my grill out.
I
man.
heard
Yeah,
all of it.
It was real juicy. I didn't want to be slipping all episodes.
So wait, do you put the grill in to take it off on camera, or was it just in?
I just had it in and I was gonna rock with it, but then I was just like, I don't like the way that I
Does it make you talk to Liz too? Mine is Liz McGee over here. I take mine off on stage. Like I can't
perform in it at all.
I sound like a grown toddler.
Yeah.
It's just what's going on.
What's going on, guys?
That little bit of air. Mess you up.
Well, what's going on, man? I know that we've been seeing you on the gram, in the gym.
Yeah.
Hold on, real quick before you do that, before you answer that, because we want to hear that. I'm going to give a special shout out to all our Patreon subscribers.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to y'all, you know what I'm saying? Supporting the boy, getting the free early episodes. Also, you're going to get the free discount codes, early discount codes to when we go on tour. T-shirt sales went amazing. We're going to take a time, regroup, and we're going to bring back new T-shirts. We got some great things for you guys doing Halloween.
Beatboxing is over.
Spit it up, nigga. I get to cuss here, huh?
Yes.
Fuck all that shit.
You get the cuss. Dicks.
But shout out to all the Patreon subscribers, man. Make sure you're following us on YouTube, subscribing on YouTube, and following us on IG as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, weight loss.
Weight loss, yes. I've really been tough in the gym. My goal is to get to 225. You know, my journey started at 486. So I weighed in yesterday. I was supposed to be 275. I clocked in at 280. I wasn't too mad about it. So now I'm officially 55 pounds away from my goal.
Congratulations,
And,
man.
Yeah, man. I'm just super excited, man.
Man, I am with you on this weight loss.
You look amazing, bro.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
It's a journey. It really goes to say you can't just cut out something like, this is what you really have to make a lifestyle change.
That's really what it is.
What did you do?
You know, the crazy thing is what I've really started to notice, because I've been having, you know, ups and downs.
Buffets?
Yeah, you know, I usually specialize in those. But the shit is, I was, you know, when we were on our weight loss competition, I was losing weight the wrong way. I was just starving myself, drinking water and protein shakes.
Oh, that's horrible.
It was terrible. And then when I stopped, that's why I'm getting like 25 pounds in like 2 weeks. It was the craziest thing. What I learned is I lose weight when I eat. I gotta eat. So it's like, but I gotta eat good food.
Yeah.
So now I eat like a bunch of chicken, brown rice, and, you know, vegetables, water. I cut back on like sugars and sodas. And,
Nice.
you know, cake for breakfast. And
But you
shit
still
like
sweet as hell.
That was weird.
Like counteract the
She's
progress.
still so sweet.
Yeah, I know. It sounds like a roast and a flirt. You're too sweet.
Like, Why you still looking at me?
I was just saying, like, we gotta get these, these fat jokes in.
Yeah, man, but they don't be going quick,
you had a lot of classic jokes on
Yes.
roast me and great taste that it's running out.
I'm telling you, you got to the end of the year, get them all out now.
Doboy is in the XL, guys. Constantly.
This is
I'll just point that out. He's in an XL t-shirt.
And you started with what?
I started at 6X.
6X.
Yeah, I used to have to
It
do my
goes
shirts.
that high?
It do. Nigga, I got so big, they ran out of my size at the big install tour. They was like, nigga, just go get a moo. the biggest size was 60, nigga. I was about a 60.
Staple 2, 3XL.
Nothing else for you. Get out.
We got these 2 old blankets in the back and we're comfortable.
Moving blankets.
I'll tell you, man, you never like get your feelings hurt until you get kicked off of a roller coaster for being too big. That
I
shit
can't
fucked
imagine
me up.
that.
Nigga, it be fucked up because everybody be sitting there waiting to have fun. They be sitting there kicking their feet like, man, you trying to get the thing to click, it don't go. The constructor looking at you like, nigga, he looking at me like, nigga, being fat should be riveting enough. You don't need no extra thrills. What you doing here, nigga?
Everybody was looking like,
I feel like that thing is like, because it's even been tight on me, like the little over the neck part.
And it's fucked up.
Like,
And the messed up part is the one time I was trying to get it on, the like, sometimes like the roller coaster shifts.
Yeah.
And I was thinking they was gonna take me. I was like, wait, no, let me get the fuck out of here. I saw the bitch going to be like, no.
I just imagine that moment before the drop where you just hear and it just never goes. Get off!
No, I'm telling you, there was one time where I lied about my weight and I was getting ready to go bungee jumping.
Oh,
and I was a hot.
Why would you
I
lie
was a
about
hot
your weight?
315, and then the max was 240. They were like, sir, what's your weight? I was like 240. Dude was like,
Why would you lie about your
I was
life?
like, never mind.
close to
He's
death.
like, why would I do this? Like,
Why would you lie?
because I want us to be exciting and have
But the
fun.
whole point was safety.
Yeah.
This can only hold this much. And you're like,
I just-
I'm
That rubber band would have been like, Nick.
So,
Wow. Well, what I was saying was, you beat, what did you lose? 200?
200. Well, at this point, it's a little bit over 200. So I'm a little bit over 200 pounds at this point.
Okay.
So
Between weight loss. How much are you alcohol?
I'll be
sober?
2 years, November 22nd.
That
So
is
we're like
crazy.
679 days. So, and that's crazy because y'all remember me at the height of my drunkenness. I've had many drunk conversations. Remember on your birthday when I got drunk and I bought him a bottle of Hennessy at we went to the Big Girl Club and I drank that shit and I was mad.
Heard the story.
We were halfway in. I was like, I'm drunk.
Oh, man, fuck this shit, drink. I went and kissed a random girl in the mouth. Oh, how do I get home?
Drunks be mad when you don't want to get more drunk with them.
Absolutely.
I was like, I'm small. Like, you be drinking half a Hennessy bottle. I'm lit.
Taking shots out of the Hennessy cap.
Yeah.
Small body.
I was up in there lit. We have a couple of different stories, but you know what we messed up when you be like, what was I saying last night? Like, nigga, you was wild. Like, so
Wow.
it's definitely good to be out. And, and even to bring it now forward, like, I'm making a lot more positive decisions, but I still almost had an STD.
Oh.
Just got a scare. Yeah, got serious on y'all's ass.
Was it like a hair bump?
Nah, what's nigga be trying to explain their hair bumps. Nah, I had a girl that I was intimate with, and she came back like, I got that 2-piece. I said, the 2-piece? I don't think she meant 2-piece of the biscuit. She was like, chlamydia and trichinosis or some shit like that. Mm-hmm. And so she thought I gave it to her. And I was like, I ain't gave this shit. I went and got tested. I didn't have nothing. Woo. But, it just kind of just opened my eyes. And, man, I was like, man, I got to get out the game.
Well, first of all, that's embarrassing for her.
She
was just like, oh, it wasn't you?
Get yourself tested. I ain't got nothing. Oh, really?
I just picture a list of like Doboy.
Have y'all ever had STD scares? Because people don't want to talk about it.
But it was super scary in college. We weren't dating, but I was seeing this girl, and she did the same thing. She was just like hit me with the serious phone call, crying and stuff like that. But it was like on some like you said, but it was like aggressive. Like you did this to me. Like how could you blah 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 blah. Yeah. So I felt real bad, and I went, and I think that was like my first time getting tested, and then it came back. It was funny. I read it, or he said it over the phone.
And she was there with you?
No. But the doctor was like, "You good?" And I was like, "I'm good." I actually went in and saw the nurse, and she was like, "Oh yeah. I thought they called you. Like, you're good." And I was like, "Can I see the doctor?"
they usually don't read results over the phone.
No, they do. They read it for me.
Well, I don't.
Really?
I think they read them if you don't have, if you're good. Right?
Yeah,
Okay.
they tell you to come in, nigga.
It's like,
gracious.
But then it's funny. I actually got a one-on-one with the doctor. He was just like, "You're good," and I was like, "I'm like, are you sure?" And then he gave me that look. He was just like, "Oh, yeah, nigga, she got some more dick. There's another dirty dick out there."
So what did you do? Did you go back and talk to her about it?
Yes.
What did she say?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
And what did she say?
I don't really remember because we weren't together.
Did she at least come clean about it was somebody else?
Of course not.
Well, it was during a time that we weren't really like talking anymore. So it wasn't like I was upset, but it was just like it was probably how you felt. It was just like, damn, like
Then you gotta start making
dirty, and you made me think that I was. Like,
and that was the messed up part.
The waiting is the most
that shit is
treacherous part for me. Like waiting to get those results back, and you're just like,
that shit is
I'm
ass.
gonna live my life if I got committed.
But you know what I
found?
You know what I found out that was unfortunate, that because what I would do with the information, but I was like, I wanted to get out the game. Apparently, it's a little tougher for guys to get it from a woman versus a woman getting it from a guy,
which is so messed up.
So it's like
we just got the cheat code. Like it seems so difficult to be a woman. Y'all they have to worry about everything. So even down to being cold. that's like a man and woman thing. Yeah, like a lot of them have low iron or like are anemic. And we like make fun of it, like, oh, you're only always cold, but that's like
that's like how they're genetically wired.
Like a lot of them, yeah.
Wow.
And it's just like it sucks. I be feeling so bad. I'm like, damn, you got your period again?
For real.
But at the same time, I was like, yes, you got your period again.
No, that part is always great.
But let me ask you this though, because I really want, and the reason why I say it, because I feel like the conversation is uncomfortable, but it's a conversation that should be had sometimes. What do you do out there if you're trying to be sexually active and trying to be safe? Because condoms be lame. I'm just like, I hate condoms, but it's like,
I don't care.
So is the STD too.
The best thing to do is use a condom.
Yeah.
This is the best thing to do.
And just think of sexier shit if you can't. Like while you're having sex, if you're starting to go limp, just think of some sexy shit.
What you have to do is like put a little lube on before you put the condom on.
Really?
Yeah, man. Or get the top before, but the top is gonna go away. So you need the lube on, but you can't put too much lube on, because you put too much lube on, the condom will come off.
Slide out of that.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
So you just put a little bit around the shaft. I mean, not around the shaft, around the mushroom tip. Don't put a whole lot on the shaft, because that's where it'll slide off at. Just a little bit around the mushroom tip. You just want
I don't know if I like to call it a mushroom tip.
I like the details.
Now I'm not gonna be able to eat
just put a little
mushrooms.
bit around the umbrella tip.
Just say dick in general.
Right around the tip of the shaft. Right around there.
And all that stuff. I don't like it.
So I'm STD free and I'm in these streets.
Good shit. Me
You ever
too.
been so excited to get your STD test results back that you celebrated by going raw that night?
That's
Yes,
quite that's
I-
weird. Probably the weirdest thing we do.
Right, it's just because you feel like
You be like, "Bitch, this is the cleanest dick this side of the back.
I'm back,
Back
baby.
in this game, coach." My first AIDS scare.
You had an AIDS scare?
AIDS scare.
You-
I've always been super proactive when it comes to getting tested, right? Always. And so I got tested at this
Big
Planned
A
Parenthood.
bomb?
Man,
Never had a girl say I might have
Planned
AIDS.
Parenthood, and I was staying with my cousin at the time, and he knew I was going to get tested. So a couple days afterwards, I had went to my mom's crib, and I'm chilling with her, and they left a voicemail, and I was just like, listen to it. It's like, hey, Mr. Moore, so just looking at your test results.
Might have the AIDS.
You may need to come back in because it's showing positive for HIV.
What?
My
Nigga said maybe?
Nigga?
I lost my shit. I'm on the balcony. I'm on the second floor.
I would have
upstairs.
just jumped.
Oh man, I broke the railing. I'm crying, flaring all on the wall. My mom comes out. She's like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "I got HIV." I'm crying.
Why would a doctor ever say maybe?
This shit. This is in high school. Like, I'm crying hard, man. And then I was like, "They called. Hey, sir, I got it." She's like, "They normally don't leave those type of results on your voicemail." So I listened to it again, and I was like, I heard the voice. It was my cousin. It was my cousin. I was
niggas.
like,
That ain't nothing to play about.
Wait, and you had just gotten a test?
yeah, I got the test, and he knew I was going to get the test.
Shout out to your cousin, though.
Man,
That's hilarious.
I was living.
Damn.
We had to square up. We had to shoot the
You
film
gotta fight after that.
Oh, yeah.
Because you got probably peed on yourself.
Oh,
after
man,
that.
I kidney punched the shit out of him at work. We was both working at White Castle at the time. I just went up to the job.
That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
right there.
White Castle seems like they allow fights.
Oh, nigga,
That's
fuck
Take
it.
your 15, then fight, and come back.
Right in front of the store. So it was good to the crowd.
Oh, it was the worst, man. Jeez,
Wow,
Louise.
you had an AIDS scare.
Ugh.
I don't know why I pictured all of this in the 80s and you had like a glitter suit on.
No, nigga, the funny part is when he said he unraveled into the wall, like, oh, I got it. He's coming over here to here. Oh, fat short self. Get your fat short self up.
Wriggling
Freckle
around.
face, fuck, get up.
Just wriggling around.
Get your ass up. All right, baby.
Oh, man, I was hard crying.
Man, that'd be tough when you gotta take that breath
Oh,
to compose yourself, breath.
I don't think I've ever had an AIDS scare.
So,
That's
yeah,
wow.
man.
That's
We
the
out
big
here.
one.
Disease free, man.
That is
Yeah.
the
But
big
wear
I gotta take
condoms.
some.
Wear condoms if you out here, though.
oh yeah.
I feel like I just learned that some condoms are they just feel trash. Like
Yes.
there's no way. And I think that it's like, I think Lifestyle. Have you guys ever had Lifestyle? I've never used
Lifestyle.
Lifestyle.
I don't use Lifestyle or Directs. Only Trojan for me.
I feel like I used that in the past few years, and I was just like, oh, there's a difference. Like,
You can tell the difference. But that's the thing, though. I've been in nothing but committed relationships the majority of my adult life, like from 18 to 22, from 22 to 30, from 31 to 36. So I've really only been like single for real for like 2 years, 4 years now. So that's just I'm not used to using condoms and sex, so it's just it's tougher to get used
but
to.
like when you started, didn't you use a lot of
No,
condoms?
because I started having sex at 15. I was raw. I was just out here living life, and then I just was instantly in a relationship, and I was always in relationships, and so you get used to not having to put one.
I'm always more afraid of a baby than an STD.
Yeah, no, kids are cool though.
Kids are expensive, nigga.
Yeah.
Damn,
Yeah.
I don't know. I group them together. Whenever.
What would you rather have, a kid or herpes?
They both are with you, though.
Herpes,
They
they
both
go with you
with
forever,
you.
but you ain't got to see herpes every day.
But you know what? You know the crap.
You ain't got to drop herpes off in
Kid
school.
or herpes?
You ain't
How
got to
does
show
that
up
work?
at
It
herpes
just
games.
disappears?
It flares up.
No, I actually talked to this girl because I was telling him this off camera. I had this girl, one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen. And we were like talking, this was a couple months ago, and we were about a week into talking. She was like, look, before we even, go further, I just want to tell you, this is my situation. I got HPV. She was basically saying she had herpes.
Very
And so
responsible.
I'm very responsible for her to tell me that. And it was messed up too because she wasn't even out there going around. Like her dude literally cheated on her and brought that home to her. So then when she was talking to me about it, so we were just talking, I was like, well, how is it living with that? Because I had questions. I was just like, you get outbreaks once a month. But that's actually not true.
Mm-hmm.
She's actually said she hasn't had a breakout in over 3 years. And they're really only brought on by stress. And she said that the only way she can pass it to somebody is if she had sex with them while she was on the outbreak. And so I was like, oh.
Wait,
so,
I heard that's not true, though.
yeah, I heard that's what she said.
I don't know.
I don't know. We weren't intimate, but that's what she said. So
after she told you that, she was like, oh, that's crazy. All right, I'm going to holler at you.
no, we was cool, but I was like, we're not finna.
Wait.
That's what she said. She said, I'm being honest, she said that the only way she can pass it to another person is if she's actively having, and I did look that up, and that is true.
So it's true. So wait. So it's possible that we could have had sex with somebody who had it.
She said that most people have and will never know.
Yep.
She said most people have
It's
had
a different
sex.
test you have to get. You can't get the regular STD test. You have to get the detailed test because it's two different tests when you are trying to but get everything tested. It's more than just blood work and urine sample.
Yeah, you have to actually have
some
some signs or some symptoms for them to test you for that.
Oh, you can ask for it.
But if they say okay, we're gonna test you for this, herpes, then you're good, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
But what you're saying is that some people could have it and not
pass it to somebody. So you could have had sex with somebody that had herpes and they just didn't give you herpes because of when you had sex with them.
I thought I heard that you can even pass it when it's not active.
Well, that's what
I heard that too. I heard that you could pass it even in remission. I heard skin to skin contact, you can still pass it. Which
that might be an outside chance of it.
Smash with my boxes on.
Oh wow! So space herpes, that makes a lot of sense. You guys heard of space herpes?
Wait, what do you mean? Aliens got venereals?
No, nigga, a bunch of astronauts when they leave Earth's atmosphere and go into outer space, just randomly crazy flare-ups would just happen, and they were just they were getting space herpes. And it was because I guess they been had it, like you said, but then like the
Really? And then they went out of space and then it showed up?
It was like,
That's
like Superman.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was like just add water.
I remember in college, I thought the chick had it because I wasn't as well versed in my knowledge of STDs and things of that nature. But it was a hair bump because I was looking and I was just like,
yeah, how do you tell the difference?
what's that?
Because it seems like most females have small like little bumps when after they shave.
Right.
So,
but
like,
I mean, hair bumps usually are like one. It may look irritated, maybe like puffy. Herpes is usually a cluster, like 3 or more. Oh. And they usually have like
that
white
are touching. Or like if it's just like sporadic.
No, they usually are clustered together.
You've actually seen one?
I mean, just online, like Wikipedia and man.
But they show you the worst of the worst.
Hey man,
I know.
They show you
I know
some
it's
shit
like, they give you like like slideshow or something. Like,
yeah, but they give you the horror show. Like they show it at a state that nobody would be comfortable having sex at.
Hey man,
I would assume that it would be in. Like,
we need to see what we should be looking for if it's not as crazy as that.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the really thing that just kind of opened my eyes, because I was just like, bruh, I'm 40, bro. I didn't been around the block sometimes. They'd be like, bro, it's just dangerous. I just told myself, once I got my test back, and they tested me, I said, test me for everything. Like, I don't care what it, I was like, nigga, test me for
black plague.
I got tested for polio.
Do I have polio?
So you came back clean, but there is syrup in your blood.
Your blood is delicious, and we want that.
We don't even know what to call this. You have waffleitis.
We've been tortilla chips in your blood. It's weird.
But no, it just really just like it just made me. It shell shocked me to the point now where I'm just like, I think I'm out the game, man. I'm just.
You know how many times I've actually heard you say that?
Yeah, but usually it's for different reasons. But you know how hard it is out there, bro. You know, man.
How hard it is?
How hard it is out there to be sexually active and safe at the same time.
Well, yeah, but
it's
I mean,
hard.
just be responsible. Work
on it. Yeah, it's like wearing a seatbelt. Yeah, it's no fun to judge your selfies, but
heavily judge the women that you let into your life. You have to, because some niggas are just like, so who are you? Like, oh, you're a horrible person.
I remember this one time, and this was after my whole son's. No, actually, I was still in high school. You know, you and your cousin call 2 chicks over. His girl brings a girl, something like that. And we in his room. He's on the bed with his chick. I'm on the floor with the chick that she brought with her. And I didn't really want to smash at all. But I was just like, it's available. Right?
It's here.
Yeah, I'm in 11th to 10th grade. Bro, when I tell you, she pulls out the condom, because I was like, I ain't got no condom. Like, I was like, I ain't got no condom. And she was like, she pulls out the condom. I grabbed the condom, and I'm feeling the package, and it's like, something just said, turn the light on. Turn the light on. This bitch is poked. Not even like a pin size.
In 10th grade?
She poked like a fucking pencil.
In 10th grade?
Yes.
There was a lot going on in your high school life. This nigga got kidnapped.
I tell you, I was like, yo, what the fuck is this?
You were just around.
And she was like, oh, that's not for you. That's not for me.
You're
planning this? That's premeditated.
I didn't know that level of hoe was activated.
Oh, bro, I was blown. I know I was in 10th grade.
She was like, oh, this is Rodney's. Yeah. This is yours. This one is double ply. I never want to have your kids.
This is actually bulletproof.
You won't feel anything.
That's not for you.
It's
scary.
Wow. That's not for you was her first response.
Don't trust this lie. It's a dirty game, a dirty world.
You know what's crazy? I equate that to like telling a female like don't drink an open cup unless you saw them pour it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
For dudes, it's like bring the condom. Don't let them bring condom. Because I feel some type of way about a girl just like, oh no, you're good, and just pulling out a giant bag of condoms.
I've heard horror stories about girls. What's it? The turkey baster and stuff out of condoms.
Oh yeah. I have to
don't throw them in the trash. Always flush them.
Yeah, I have to.
I used to go as far as to rinse them out. If I did leave them, I would rinse it out.
That's a lot.
Hey man, listen. See,
and
that's why you have stairs.
I feel bad for the female who rolled over and saw to here at the sink.
I
was over there with a Bunsen burner.
I closed the door. What you mean? You never know.
You're like a serial killer.
You're not getting my baby butter.
It's called baby butter?
Yes.
Oh my God. Side note, totally unrelated. If you have not, you should watch Dexter. It is a great show. I am binge watching it, and I'm in the 3rd season.
Doughboy be coming with old shows like they just came out.
I really feel like it's slept on, for real. Like,
No, it's not. It was critically acclaimed.
have you seen it?
No, I just don't like it.
Have you seen it?
I love Dexter.
Fucking Dexter. I'm in the
I
second
hate
season.
that you just recommended me.
Bruh.
You know what y'all should watch? Entourage. Now that's a show.
This new show out, I don't know if y'all heard of it, Sesame Street.
No. What's the killer on the season you on?
Well, I just started the 2nd season, so I don't even know who the killer is just yet. I'm like on the 2nd
Ice
episode.
Truck Killer?
Oh, Ice Truck Killer, but that was the 1st season. That was crazy.
It's every season has individual killers for the episode, but then one killer he's chasing.
Right. So now this
crazy.
Bro, and that's what Kev told me. Kev was like, "Oh, you ain't even got to the John Lithgow season yet?" I was like, "Nah." He was like, "Bro, just wait."
That's the yeah.
So yeah, if y'all be watching stuff, Dexter.
We can't review an old ass show like
Why
that.
not?
Nigga, The Sopranos.
I think that'd be good content. Like going like just do some oldie stuff and just
shit
really.
that I we missed.
Absolutely, why not?
Shit I missed.
Oldies but goodies. That's for you guys. That's a gem I just dropped for you guys, man. Start doing it.
Oh, allow it?
Yeah. All right, what else want to talk about? I didn't mean to talk about venereals this long.
No worries. I was wondering.
I know you guys wanted to talk about some things.
That's always a
but
deep rabbit
chlamydia
hole.
had to be first.
That shit's crazy.
No, I think we I mean for the most part we got a great show.
Okay.
That was the dough segment.
Yes.
I just wanted to ask you guys something. Have you guys noticed how villainous Apple has become in the last few years?
Yes, because my phone is tripping now because they just dropped a new one.
Bro.
My shit is like going, like every day is something new. I'm like, and they said publicly we fucked it up, but I'm like, there's nothing I can do because I'm not going to leave you.
That's the craziest part about it. They were like, yeah, we do this. And we're still just like.
$1,100 for the new one.
It's slavery.
You got the 11?
I got the same
That
day it came out.
camera.
It is fantastic.
That's what we're filming on.
That shit looks like water.
It is fantastic.
Yeah.
Did
And,
you have to pay a bunch of bread?
Nope.
But
see, I feel like they gonna have us in contracts until we like 90.
No.
And we will accept it
Really?
though.
I traded in my old one, and they gave me like $400 for it. And it's like, you put it on a payment plan and just add it to your bill. It's like, nope. Here's the money. Give me my phone.
Damn.
That's a lick.
I don't like owing people nothing.
Nope. I'm
You
gonna have
never
to.
owed me money. You're right.
Hey man.
I still got the 10 and I'm gonna be rolling with it.
Over the 10?
Yeah.
Coming to the 20th century.
That's the last one.
No?
Yeah.
Oh, it is? That's what I got too.
This nigga just been talking.
I got the 10XR though.
Subtraction is different.
That's actually the bullshit. I added up, I just can't take it apart.
But have
2
you-
minus 2.
But bro, they got us dependent on all of this, and we, like you said, we can't leave. Like I just got a new laptop, and look at all this. There's no more USBs.
Nope.
There's no more HDMI's. They have to put us on this these little
Wow,
adapters.
why?
It's because
It's
I don't
a money
know.
pit.
It's
They do it just so you spend more money. That's the only reason Apple does this.
You know when
There's no reason for them to take the USB off. None
They
whatsoever.
say it's for a cleaner look, but look at this. This ain't cleaner. Looks like my
clean,
shit's
it's a
on
more
life
expensive
support.
look.
Bro,
Yeah.
It's all cluttery and stuff.
I'm willing to bet that when they just did something as simple as taking the aux cord off of the phone, and then you had to get the little dongle, I'm pretty sure that little dongle was $1 billion thing.
And
Because
then-
I bought like 7 of them.
And
The
it
11
costs like $5 to
The
make.
11 has a new charger. It doesn't have the USB charger anymore.
It's the
now it's got
Thunder
the lightning pin on both ends.
It's all that. So you have to have adapters with that same thing. So
Sick
it's
of
just
these
like
people.
Apple. What you?
Square up, man.
Right.
Tell the CEO of Apple.
We love
drop
you
the
guys.
location. We pulling up. Square up, man. All you do is want
We
money.
love Apple. Why are you guys doing
Oh,
these
lame ass
things?
fuck boys.
Why are you
Boy.
guys doing these?
But I want that new one though. I seen that
It
camera.
looks
I was
amazing.
like-
That's what I'm saying.
No,
we're
have you seen
hooked.
the,
We're
have
not
you
going
seen the
anywhere.
depth perception selfie mode?
Yeah, nigga, I have it.
Nigga, you can take a selfie and you can be here, but like, I'm like, nigga.
I
I
feel like
claim it
photographers
very
are
much
going to
false.
get hired a lot less.
How? Do you remember how much? Do you remember like back in the day when we used to shoot content? We used to all be like, you got to get the red camera was.
No,
Nigga,
you
you don't
don't.
need shit. You need your
do not.
iPhone.
Man, you take out a loan and buy 4 iPhone 11s, you can shoot a movie.
I'm not even mad at that.
You can
No.
shoot damn near a whole movie. It's ridiculous how crazy that camera is.
We gave them both sides of the review. Fuck you, Apple.
The best shit
man,
ever.
this is
You
great.
get 4 of them, you can make a feature film.
I have no problem admitting that they have the best camera on the market. They are assholes for constantly switching up the charging block.
Right.
Because like imagine for the people that have like the iHomes and stuff with the dock stations, that you put the phone on. Like, you got the new phone, you got to throw that away because your phone won't fit on that docking station.
But they know that you'll have to do that, so you'll buy whatever little piece that you need.
But iHome don't even belong to Apple. Now I'm spending more money because I bought your product.
What's it belong to? Both?
iHome is like iHome. I don't know.
Don't they own the i? Like,
No, I mean, I would think so too. Don't you have to be a part of the Apple family to do the whole
anything?
iPad?
I think they just infringing on that now.
Yo, I've been meaning to do a video on this. Have you guys heard of Google? I think it's called Duplex.
That's like a house with two, but there's like split in half.
That's what a duplex is.
Oh.
But nigga, there is a new thing that Google's dropping. And it's literally like, you know how like Siri's like, you know, you can be like, Alexa, turn the lights on, or Alexa, play this. I could say, Alexa, get Tahir a haircut appointment on Thursday at 10. And it will call the business and have a full-on conversation. Not like a robot, but it'll be like, yeah, 10 a.m. is fine. Something like that, like literally like saying to think, stopping and thinking, and they literally have a full conversation with them, and then you can hang up and be like, have no idea that you're talking about. I
guarantee Apple has something coming out, because now Siri is the same way. Like if you say, hey, I don't want to say it because we're recording, she just might come back in. But if I say, hey, she'd be like,
Bruh, listen.
She hits me with the
Let me tell y'all this.
I don't like how real. Just be like, hello, what do you want? I want that. I don't want the like, hey, what's good, bro?
Let me tell y'all this. You know, like those old movies that we used to watch, like movies like iRobot and different things about like machines taking over.
It's all happening.
It's happening, nigga.
I don't get how do scientists not watch these movies?
Bro, I'm like, nigga, it's. Do you know now? Kev told me about this shit the other day. Do you know now they have robots that can create and compose original music?
Yeah.
Like original shit, like shit that wasn't. They figured out how to do that shit. Like you can have sex with a whole robot lady, like, and have her be like your girl, and you just hitting that shit. She just. Like,
that's the thing you're scared about,
nigga. I'm just saying that I think robots are taking over.
Well, I just saw there was a. That's true. That is true.
Yeah.
But there are videos of robots that are doing rolls,
they
and
can
pull-ups
jump
and stuff, and shooting, and obviously they shoot perfect. But the scariest thing is, somebody just told me about this. They know how to solve their own problems now. So they'll run the program once, see how what went wrong, and then run it again without human assistance and fix it. So by that, they're gonna keep doing that until they're like, oh, humans are fucking things up, and then they're gonna start wiping us out.
Yeah. I don't think that we'll see it just because. I mean, I'm 40. I know you guys are what? You're about to be into your 30s. You're 30, whatever. I don't think we'll see it, but I think like maybe 200-300 years from now, like it's gonna.
They won't be that long.
300 years. Oh no, technology is going rapid.
We're talking about maybe 15 years before we have literally like. Well, 15, 20 years before we can literally have robots walking around going to get our groceries.
They're already saying that they have robot spies now that look like regular people that are spies.
That's really scary,
bro.
You just be on the bus with somebody like looking at you like meep meep.
Niggas
take on the robot.
Trying to force some more of those niggas on a short circuit, but it don't happen.
They don't work on rain days.
I guess it's way more obvious than I thought. All right, real quick, I wanted to shout out my boy Winton. He just sent me. I literally just opened this before we started. Gave me a little print of your boy. Send us some art, y'all. Remember the little drawings that we had before? We should decorate this.
So wait, is that a poster or just like a picture?
It's like it's a print that was put in like a little magnet case, glass case. It's pretty interesting.
I thought it was a coaster at first. I was like, that's a big coaster, but either way,
I know, right? Big old beers.
I like it.
All right, so I have a pretty funny hits joint fact that was asked to me by Tribal Life. Do you guys think that there were stud slaves?
Like stud, like lesbians?
Yeah. Because obviously there's probably like gay slaves, but like, do you think that there's any females?
I feel so bad about making jokes about it, but like, as soon as you said it, immediately I thought about a gay slave like on the boat, just like, there's a lot of dick in here.
Oh, you talking about a dude version? No, like a stud, like young M.A.
Yeah, no, I get that.
I don't know.
You get back in there and feed them kids, like, I'm gonna be out here with these niggas. Like,
I would have to assume. Well, I don't know, because I would just assume that if gay like has progressively been more and more accepted over the years, and it was probably really shunned back then. So if it was, they were probably more secretive about it.
But like, you think even the females. I feel like female studs are the most open in terms of like every type of gay person. Like the female who identifies as the man in the relationship seems like they are the most comfortable,
right, with who they are.
Because it seems like even in like middle school, you know, they started dressing like boys and identifying as that, and they got pretty much like the least shit. But then again, I grew up in Los Angeles, so.
Right. I grew up in Sacramento. I didn't experience a lot of that. I didn't really remember seeing a ton of it.
You think she was walking around sagging her chains?
Her chains? I don't get it.
Because you're a slave.
Oh, Jesus.
That was a really dark slavery joke.
God.
You're a resident freckle guy.
You're a resident freckly man.
Side note, this is totally unrelated. I had 2 questions for both of you guys. When are we going to put some type of parameter or fence around how many mood bracelets we're going to have?
These aren't
and
mood
why
bracelets.
Why are you getting your nose pierced?
Is this new?
I had my nose pierced before.
Did you?
I took it out because I was at an audition and made me take it off.
This whole time I've known you, you've had that?
No. I just got to re-pierce.
What made you do that?
I had been wanting it. I just didn't do it because I was an actor. You know, we gotta always look like the headshots. Will you shave? Can you take your nose ring out? Now
Don't make that the excuse for your nose ring. Come on now.
That's why I didn't do it prior to. I had been wanting to do it, but like when I first moved out here, they were very strict about like you gotta look like your headshot. You can't change your look without changing your headshots and all that shit. So I just was like, all right, I ain't gonna get it. That's why I stopped getting tattoos.
For real?
Yeah, because like now when I'm acting, a commercial show, anything like that, unless they call for somebody that has tattoos, I'm in the makeup chair for an hour and a half with them covering up all my tattoos. Because like even with something like this, like it doesn't show, but the moment I do something like that, it shows. So they had to cover up all of this. They had to cover up my neck. They cover up my finger. They cover up my wrist.
And his role was a thug. He could have had tattoos, but they were just like, we don't like him.
Tramp stamp with 2 guns, like Wile E. Coyote.
This is Japanese. But I'm thug number 2. Let's just cover that.
Tattoo on the small of your back? It was a crazy time in my life.
It was a crazy time in my life.
I want to see you ask, I want 2 guns right on my butt.
In retrospect,
Right above
man,
my butt.
I should have never been like leaning like this.
Leaning like, yeah.
That's how you got it?
I was looking back there like you got a fat ass.
Wait a minute. He was like, ow. Be careful back
spreading
there.
stuff on you. All right, man. You rubbing it on you. Yeah, you get up out of here.
But like you down now. I actually haven't started shit.
You got one of these ones. You done. Oh my God. You got hit him with the butt
Have you
pat.
got any new random tattoos?
No.
You got nunchucks tattooed on you?
I got what? Oh yeah.
Why? You ain't never had no nunchucks?
I did. I used to train with nunchucks.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You ever hit a nigga in a fight with those?
No, I never like applied it.
I ain't never seen a nigga in a fight getting off for nunchucks.
That would be
If a
crazy.
nigga brought out a pair of nunchucks,
I'm not fighting.
I don't know why I said it like this. If a dude brought out a pair of nunchucks in a
Thank
fight, like I would just be flabbergasted.
It's like getting
Like,
hit
you
with
want
a
some
bat.
beef, nigga? Like, wait, what?
Nah,
Where
you
did those
break your
come from,
hands.
sir?
You would break your hands trying to fight.
Oh, yeah.
harder than that nunchuck.
If
It's like
you
a
knew
bat.
what you was doing.
It's like a bat. Yeah, I mean, if you would prove in the first 2 seconds if he knew what he was doing.
You just brought him up like
A nigga who don't know how to use that will show right
I also
away.
ain't never seen nobody in real life like come out with a butterfly knife like in the movies. I think it's only in the movies.
That would be like in the 80s though. That would be scary though too.
But
If you
nigga
know how to
pulled
do
that
all
out?
that,
Yeah.
I want to learn how to do that. I'm gonna learn how to do that, and I'm gonna do it on the show.
I look forward to it.
I'm just,
I'm a yo-yo.
I want to see you. I want to see you use the nunchucks.
I'm pretty good. I got brush up, but there's like different moves.
What else do
Do
you
you
know yourself?
do you have a pair of them now?
I have like some padded ones. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I want to see that. Bring that to the show next time.
I'll show you.
Such an interesting nigga. Nigga plays piano using nunchucks. Video
Pat,
games.
he posted a video
he
like
write
last
poems
week
and
when he
shit.
was at some piano. He was like in public. You were playing the piano.
I don't remember. I do
You
that a lot.
posted it, I think, on your Instagram. Or you somewhere you were playing the piano, and it just looked like a homeless guy kind of just shuffled in somewhere. Just he was
Nah,
like,
get on there.
I knew this is first coming.
I'll stop playing for a cup of joe.
I'll stop playing.
they was like, shoot, you get on out of here, scat now, get out.
That's Jazzy Pat. That's old Jazzy Pat. Come on, guys. Let me get a set in.
Now, but I know you be winning with that though. Like, I think his like artsy thing. I've had more than one young lady come to me and be like, "You know, Patrick, I'm like, yeah, I know that little nigga. They be like, he's such a vibe. I be like, man, I'll beat that nigga ass, man. I see the girls calling Patrick a vibe around me. What about me, ho?
He sits in reverse cowgirl when he pees.
I don't know
Just
that.
sit on the toilet.
I don't do that.
Laying on the commode like.
At one point, I was like, I'm not gonna be tall. I'm not. This football shit
That
ain't
nigga was
working.
like, man, I'm gonna have to get artsy. Man. Give me some dreads and some talent.
Patrick with no hair looks so goddamn
Nigga,
weird.
don't you
now.
ever cut it. As much as I talk about them braids, don't you ever cut them.
That was savage.
I seen you, but I don't know, man. That hairline kind of woo.
I mean, it's been back there. It's been back there.
I love that you own it though. You like, yeah, nigga.
Well, I was happy because I thought it was going back, and then I looked at myself in high school, and I was just like, "Oh, my forehead is just on 20. I'm all right. I'm all right."
That forehead was just like, nigga, we here.
How long are you gonna grow them? Like, is there any plan to ever cut?
There's a cap. There is a cap. They're getting too long.
So what are you gonna do when are you gonna cut them all the way off?
No, I'm probably shortening them. Because once it gets to the point where I'm like rolling over and pulling my own hair and I have to do weird shit like this, like, this is getting a lot.
I think the thing is, I said that the crazy thing is because people are saying this to me now. They're like, "Yo, you getting small. I don't recognize you like this. Like, don't get too much smaller." Because I think people get used to us looking a certain type of way. I don't know how I'd look at Pat if he didn't have the braids.
I mean, I don't really care about that. People say that like, if this dude cut his hair or grew his hair, I don't. And then it happens, and they're just like,
Well, he did this.
he
shit.
did. Well,
What's
the man of his word.
What's the end goal with this? Is this kind of just in the pattern?
Well, my thing is just like mind your goddamn business.
Oh, okay, cool.
I wasn't like, it's crazy when I had the sponge, they used to just coil up, but since I've been using like that little racket thing, they've actually like locked up. So like now,
So are you about to get dreadlocks?
no, I'm just I trim them so they don't get like much longer than this, but like now I would say like 60% of them are locked up, and I can't do anything about it unless I cut it all off at this point.
it's great for October. Do they attract like crows yet?
I just bring your scarecrow looking ass over
That's the lead in the new Jeepers Creepers. Shout out to spooky season.
Yo, I just realized that's what that was for. Scarecrows are what to scare crows, literally. I didn't even I just realized that. To scare birds away.
What can I kill myself
Crows.
with in arm's distance?
I mean, because you hear the word scarecrow, but you're not really thinking this is to scare crows.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Now I'm
Every
thinking
time you were introduced to a scarecrow, like even in the cartoons, there were crows around. I'm like, this scarecrow don't even work.
But you don't feel like crows over the thousands of years have been like, nigga, that's not really a god.
How you made it this long
Crows are-
alive is
Crows
a
must
mystery
be
to the
dumb
world.
then. How do crows not evolve enough
Do
to
you know how big a crow's brain is?
Oh yeah, they are pretty small. You right. You are.
That's crazy.
right.
That's crazy.
If you try to figure it out, you will hurt your own head.
I'm trying to think of just another example that's even close to this, and I can't. I can't.
I didn't really think about it like that. I didn't think like, that was to scare a crow.
So wait, you know what a bird bath is for, right?
No.
Can you guess?
A bird bath?
Yeah.
A place where birds go to take a bath at?
Great.
Okay, I didn't think it was that simple.
It's always that
It's in the
simple.
word.
So what do they do? So they
What about a bird feeder?
I get that, you motherfucker.
I'm just.
Because
You
don't
gotta
say
check
bird
it.
feeder. You don't think scarecrow. Just I don't know what I thought a scarecrow was before today. I just didn't think it was there to scare crows. I didn't know crows were too big. Like, what are crows gonna do? Why do farmers need to scare
I
them?
think they're eating the
Because
crops
they
and
eat,
stuff.
they eat the corn. That's why they're usually in cornfields.
And only
Is it-
crows do this?
Well,
Because it's not like scare eagles or scare doves
It could have been scare birds.
eggers.
or scare birds. That's what I'm saying. Why is it just scare
I
crows?
think it's because crows were the.
Let's look that up. Why is it
We don't need to.
just to scare crows?
Because crows are
right.
they're the biggest threat to the crops.
So the other birds didn't really come and fuck shit
Not like
up?
when the crows get big as hell.
Scarecrow is a decoy or mannequin, often in the shape of a human. Humanoid scarecrows are usually dressed in old clothes and placed in open fields to discourage birds from disturbing and feeding on recently cast seed and growing crops. Okay, so
So it said birds. It didn't say just crows.
well, it was mainly
Okay.
crows, but I guess it's at the point in the crops where they just put seeds down and crows always come and eat the seeds.
Oh.
I guess it's not when it's fully grown. Maybe so, but I think it's like when they just lay the seeds
I
down.
thought it was for the corn in general, but I mean the seed part makes sense too. But I thought it was also for them eating the crops as well.
I just didn't know that they were the only problematic birds in the universe of birds.
It says crows or sparrows.
See? So why couldn't it be scared sparrows?
I mean,
doesn't roll off
do you
the
need
tongue.
that? Do you need that to understand?
No, I understand it now. But I'm just saying, like, why did they put crow if it was for other birds?
Hey, farmer, is that a scarecrow or is that a scare sparrow? I noticed that's similar but kind of different.
In your defense, there's really no reason for you to know anything about a scarecrow.
Scarecrow. I ain't never farmed no shit. I've been in the streets thugging.
All right, so just to get into some wild stories real quick. Did you guys hear about, since we were just talking about weight loss, did you guys hear about the kid who went blind from only eating like French fries and chips? Huh?
We did this one.
Wait, did we?
Yeah, we did this one.
No, we didn't.
No, because we talked about the parents. It is the parents' fault.
I thought you said that it was we didn't do it.
No, you asked me for something else. You asked me about something else. Let's just
Did you hear about it though?
Yeah, we did this one before. I think it was just me and you.
Well, fuck it. Let's moving right along. Did you guys hear about how like bowl cuts and the okay hand gesture just got entered into like the database of white supremacy?
What? Yeah, and I hate that. But then niggas is gonna be mad too because this is also blood.
That's what I was saying. Like,
so you got a lot more problems than some Sue Whoop niggas that's gonna be mad too. Niggas gonna be pissed.
I'm pretty sure they know when a black person does it, it doesn't mean skinhead.
And you have to separate them because it's white power.
Ah.
WP.
This is entirely too, because this could mean A-OK. This could mean
white supremacist or blood. Like, you just don't. It's just avoid it.
Is that Trey 9 too?
I don't
know. Your name gonna come up on the affidavit.
Doughboy. Bowl cuts is also crazy because I didn't really.
Cut?
A bowl cut is that like trash haircut where like white
they
people
literally put a bowl on your head and they cut the hair around.
Well, I know so that means now that you're a racist.
That's like the school shooter.
That's a national mascot haircut.
I just don't understand why people just out here just be. I don't even get people like.
Just be nice.
Just like why
is it too hard to just be nice?
Why is it such in your life to be like I want to just hate others? Like
here's the bowl cut.
Oh, and so he's both.
That's this guy, right?
No, I'm sorry, the little Asian geek.
Yeah, that's I didn't really ever realize that a lot of these kids had bowl cuts. But look at white people getting a little culture though, you know?
White supremacy is that culture?
I mean, that's more cult. They just low key this added to the culture. Now bowl cuts are a thing. This is the thing. Like,
I don't like that. I don't like when different groups take different things. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so now you're taking this, so now that's associated with something that's hateful. I don't. Well,
now you can't willingly get a bowl cut. Like, what about all the people who just were rocking bowl cuts like her?
Now she's looked at as a villain.
Yeah, you can't re-up on the bowl cut anymore.
Zendaya.
Was that Zendaya?
No, was that Zendaya?
Who is that?
Who is it?
Her name is fine.
Her name is fine.
Mm-hmm.
You're creepy. I know you guys have heard about this Amber Geiger.
Bro, when I tell you I stood up and started clapping in the barbershop when they said that she got convicted for that shit.
I was fully prepared for the bullshit.
I'm just like, man, I'm so glad they finally got it right. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that was just, it's such an egregious world where you live in, where somebody feels like they can walk into your house, kill you under the parameters of I'm a police officer, and somehow thought she was gonna get away with it. And I ain't gonna lie, I was like, she gonna fuck around and beat this shit, and niggas is really finna turn up. So I'm glad that was just unfortunate. Like, you really walked into that man's house and killed that man.
Yeah. So if you don't know what happened, this is an off-duty police officer. Her name's Amber Geiger. Basically broke into was the door open? Like, I don't know if she broke in. I don't know if
it was ajar or not.
But he was just eating ice cream in his own house, and she shot and killed him in his own home. And this was a black man, so obviously, the cop was a white woman, so this was obviously in a horrible, like,
she said that she thought it was her apartment. Weren't they dating?
No.
They weren't dating?
No.
Really?
Mm-mm. So she just said she thought it was her apartment. And it also came out that she was distracted because she was sexting another police officer at the time. So
she thought that she was in her house. How did she even gain entry? She just...
I think the door was...
No, so I thought
she knocked and he opened.
They didn't know each other?
Yeah, I think she knocked and he opened, and she was like, "What are you doing in my house?" or something like that. Like, I can't remember the whole story, but I know that there was no reason for her to do what she did. So,
But she
think-
got the full consequences, and we
She
did
got
not
charged with
expect
murder.
that. She got the charge. We'll see like how much she actually does.
No, she should get life. But I don't even want to. I wouldn't even push for her to get the death penalty. You just sit down and think about this for the rest of your eternity. So that's just trash. Like I thought it was more so. I didn't know the whole story. I thought that they were like ex-lovers and it was a situation.
I think there was a lot of speculation around that, like when
Right.
it first dropped and stuff. Like it was just an ex's house, and like she thought she was gonna get away with it that way. But
Said she was tired from a long day at work and mistakenly parked on the wrong floor. She said the parking floors in her apartment building were not clearly marked. She reenacted how she reached the apartment door with her backpack, lunchbox, and police vest in her left hand. She testified that she heard the sound of someone walking inside. The nigga lived in there.
Oh man, maybe because he was in his own home.
When she put the key into the lock that night, she noticed that the door was cracked open and that putting the key into the lock forced the door open into the dark apartment. So I think she broke in. Right. That's what she said.
She wasn't.
Like, how do you not you open the door and you recognize that none of the furniture is yours?
Well, she also said she had experienced problems getting the door to lock completely at her apartment, which kind of makes it seem like she probably maybe forced it open a little bit because she said, well, it usually, I have problems keeping it shut. So I think she kind of forced it open. And said she was sitting on the couch when Geiger opened his front door and shot him without even giving him a chance to surrender. She said she saw the silhouette of a figure, so she pulled her gun out and yelled at him. But like, she was just like, bop, 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 like.
Yeah. But like, he's sitting on the couch, his couch. You don't recognize that that's not your couch?
She said, I scared he was going to kill me. Trash.
I'm just very, very glad that the judicial system seems to have gotten it right in the ruling, and now I hope that they follow through with a just as harsh sentence because that's just ridiculous. Innocent man lost his life. I just,
completely innocent. Eating ice cream.
In your own
There's
home.
nothing more innocent than eating ice cream. And his socks, his shoes was off.
Yeah,
He's rubbing his feet together, eating ice cream. That's the most innocent thing ever, bro.
That's the wildest shit. Like, that's just not even... Like those are the headlines that you're like, no way. You know what I mean?
Like, no, like it's not. Nobody's this.
That did not happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty messed up. I just want to ask you guys one more question, then we'll get into the final conspiracy segment. Snoop posted this, and it's pretty funny. He said he's never heard a female said, "I had a good man, but I fucked up." Y'all never do nothing wrong, huh? Have you guys ever heard of a female admitting to ruining a situation or having a good dude and fucking it up? Or do they always spin it?
I've had a couple girls that I used to date tell me that they fucked it up with me. But I mean, for the most part, I don't.
They meant fucked up at lunch. I was eating so good, I could have just dealt with the storm.
I had a chick not too long ago, a chick that I dated before I moved out to LA, and she was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really sorry. Like, you're a really, really good dude. And I just was immature. Because she had slept with one of my homeboys. And she was like, I was just super immature, da-da-da-da, So that was, I've dealt with a couple like that. But for the most part, women be acting like they can do no wrong ever.
I think that's game, too. Because I think it's typically like, because guys do that, too. Like, man, you were so good to me. Like, with girls, like, I messed up one. But, like, I don't even think, and, guys are kind of messed up with this, too. I've never heard a dude say about a girl to his homie or something like that.
Right.
Like, man, she was great. I messed it up. But I've also never heard a female say that ever. Even nothing even
I've
close
heard a
to it.
female say she messed up a good thing.
Was it
she
you?
Too immature. No. It wasn't even referring to me. She was talking about her ex-husband. She was like, she just wasn't ready for him mature. He put forth the effort, but she wasn't ready.
I think it comes with, I think the only time you're going to even get that type of revelation is when you get a lot more self-awareness about yourself. Because I've been able to be like, I fucked up some shit. Like now that I've, kind of gotten sober and just like my head's in a better place. But I just feel like that just comes from just growth and development of self. But most women, at least most women that I know, all they do is say, all niggas ain't shit. And apparently that's all we all do is fuck over women. And
it's funny because I bring this up because in retrospect, I think that a lot of in relationships, especially if they don't end well, your first instinct is to remember all the bad and then tell yourself that they messed up and you're good, as opposed to like actually genuinely looking back on it and being like, I was kind of messed up here. I could have done this, and this, which would actually make your next shit better, But we don't really do that. We're always just like, Man, she was crazy as hell, man. Fuck that bitch.
I just have a convention with some facts and some shit that you did, and you can't even deny it. Like, but I know you fucked it. Like, okay, you're right.
Maybe I did, but.
You never think about that when you think about the relationship. It's just like, man, she was tripping.
You know what
are you talking about?
I've come to the conclusion though that I think that most relationships get fucked up and on some bullshit because nobody is really willing just to say the truth of what it really is. A lot of times when guys meet a girl, they try to make it seem like I can only be with one woman and be committed. And really in your mind, you want to fuck as many women as you can in the time that you have. But if you say that, you might get shunned, she might not want to fuck with you, so then you kind of put on this mask of being, and I think women do it too. But I think if people were just more honest, like, look, I'd like to do this, but you could be one of the people I'm fucking, and that would be cool. I think people would
That's your pitch?
That's what I think it should be, because if that's what it's really going to be anyway.
That's hilarious.
Just think about it. Just think if you really told women the absolute truth from the rip. Like,
but
I probably got 7 or 8
Nobody will ever do that, but I do agree.
But if we could, I feel like it could at least start the conversation.
You could be one of the
That's because, honestly, like, I had a girl tell me this not too long ago. She was just like, yo, you could have just told me if you just wanted some pussy. Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't ever have to run game on me or make me think that you're into me or that you, it was just a real honest comment. Because I'm like, of course it was, running game, like, oh, I think you're this. She was like, you ain't got to do that. If you want some pussy, you could just say that.
I think the end goal is that everybody just wants to feel special in some type of way.
In the
you know
moment,
what I mean?
at least.
And I think that's maybe the core of what she was saying. I don't know what she said exactly was that, but I think if you said, like, what's up? I just want some pussy. That would.
Of course, you don't say it like that.
You know what I mean? It's
but
just
I just
like
think
a female to us. If she was just like, I mean, I'm taking about 8 dicks right now, but you could be one. Like, we would feel horrible. But if she was like, if she put it a certain type of way,
it's the right way.
But if it was just like, I'm involved, I'm talking to some people, but I want to see what it's. You know what I mean? It's just like how you still want to make them feel like they're
important.
That they're important because everybody wants to feel that.
You don't want to just feel like you're one of them.
Let me ask y'all this. I feel like there aren't very many women who can have a sex-based relationship only.
Honestly, I don't know that there's many men that can too. I think that we want to tell ourselves we need to be fucking a chick. You fuck her enough, eventually you're going to start liking her.
No, I don't think it's if you fuck her enough. I think it's if you spend enough time with her before and after the fuck you start liking her. Because if it was literally just a fuck, like you go there, all right, I'll let you in a minute. Bow, leave right after that. You know nothing about this person other than what you gain of knowledge from the interaction of you guys agreeing to this arrangement, right? But the longer you hang around afterwards, like, oh, you want to grab something here? Like, yeah, I can go for some tacos. Like, oh, I fucking love tacos. I love tacos too. We should go to this place. This place is bomb. Oh no, have you had this? Now y'all exchanging information. Y'all exchanging stories. You like, oh shit, she fucks with these tacos. I fucks with her. Right now, y'all start to build that relationship. If it was just sex, if it was just the physical act of sex, and then both parties dip or separate, I don't think you would have the feelings, but it's because we linger, because we don't want to be like, all right, play ball. Right. We don't want to do that, but like, that was the agreement.
What you about to get into?
And when you deviate from the original plan, that's when the feelings come in.
Which is true.
There's no way to do it though, because nobody's just going to
That's what we try to figure out in life and how to.
And that's why hookers are best.
You know what? I had a rich person. I had a rich friend tell me this one time. He said, "Doe, I won't divulge who the person is." He said, "Doe, when you coming up in the game, you spend money for women to come through. When you get money for real, you pay them to leave." And that was just some of the. I was like, that actually makes sense.
You don't have nothing. They don't got time for.
They don't have time for that.
I literally the first time I got a hooker, literally I'm smashing, and she's like, "Baby, you gonna have to hurry up. I got other people." And I was just like,
"Damn,
you can't be that transparent with me. At least give me this fantasy for at least this 2-3 minutes."
She was not having it. And I was just like, okay.
That's a hilarious. I want to keep your other customers waiting.
I was trying to satisfy you. I want to go satisfy these other customers. Okay.
You satisfy me when you pay me, Playboy. Okay, you're right.
All right, that was surprisingly wholesome. That had some gems in it. All right, well, we are at the final segment. This is the conspiracy corner, and this one is kind of funny. Cue the conspiracy music. Pepsi, did you know that they had an army at one point and they had a whole Navy base? They was in Navy's face. They had baby face. The last one isn't true, but it kind of rhymed and it sounded cool.
What happened? I see you over here trying to Billy Rock too. Yeah.
It never has that much bounce in it. You added another layer of bounce. Apparently, Pepsi, the soda company, at one point had one of the biggest military powers in the world.
What?
Why?
How is that even possible?
It's pretty crazy. So in 1989, the Soviet Union was kind of strapped for cash, and they paid Pepsi in some type of deal with 17 submarines, a cruiser, a frigate, a destroyer, and all in exchange for $3 billion worth of Pepsi. This caused Pepsi to become the 6th largest military power in the world for a moment before they sold the fleet for scrap recycling.
Wait. You're not going to just scooch past this. Who the fuck needs $6 billion worth of Pepsi? How thirsty are you? The fuck?
It says
$6 million worth of soda for who? Who's going to drink $6 billion worth of...
What are they going to drink with their Doritos, though, boy?
$6 billion worth of fucking soda?
So there was a huge war, the Cold War. It wasn't an actual physical war; it was an arms race between the U.S. and the USSR, and they basically agreed to a program of cultural exchanges. Mm-hmm. So to do this, the Soviet Union had an exhibition in New York City. They had like a mini World Fair that had a bunch of cultural displays, and in return, the United States had a display of its own in the Moscow's Sokolniki Park. Called the American National Exhibition. So they're really just like trading cultural exchanges to let each other sort of like their people know about each other. Mm-hmm. So in this deal, basically one of Pepsi's executive, Donald Kendall, visited Nixon at the embassy in Moscow, and they basically agreed to some type of plan to expand Pepsi's overseas markets. So yeah, I guess in this deal, they made some sort of deal, and the USSR ended up buying a shitload of Pepsi.
$3 billion worth of Pepsi.
That's just fucking crazy. That type of shit just makes me feel like I don't be knowing what's going on in the world, because why would a government feel the need to buy that much soda for anybody? That's just...
I think it was just Pepsi products. You know what I mean?
And if you notice, I think, do you think Pepsi is more popular than Coke?
I think in other places of the country, Pepsi is big. Like out here, I know that Coke is like king out here.
What do you prefer?
Coke or Pepsi?
I grew up on Pepsi.
Really?
But now I like Coke. But I prefer vanilla Coke out of all the Cokes. If it's just regular Coke,
vanilla Coke.
Now, if I want to mix with the Coke, I want cherry Coke. But
cherry Coke is good too.
Cherry Coke is better than cherry Pepsi.
Yeah, I feel like Pepsi is sweeter for some reason, but I don't know. I really don't mess with.
I think I'm more Coke than Pepsi.
Really? Mm-hmm. But now, first of all, you niggas ain't gonna turn your nose up at vanilla Coke. We can square up about it right now.
That sounds like some old nigga stuff.
6 years old?
It's delicious.
It's
great. It's fantastic.
No, it's not.
Do you like root beer floats?
I do like root beer floats.
I love root beer floats.
How do you like root beer floats and don't like vanilla Coke?
Because I just feel like it's doing too much. Like, sit your ass down, Coke. Ain't no goddamn vanilla. Sit your ass in your place. I want a vanilla Coke.
It's amazing. You're not gonna disrespect. In the comments, sound out if you're rocking with vanilla Coke.
Nah, we ain't fucking with no vanilla.
Yeah, everybody's fucking with vanilla Coke.
Nah.
Have you had one
I ain't
before?
never been like, I got a hankering for a vanilla Coke.
Vanilla Coke is fire, but it's just a random flavor to champion for.
Hey man, I'm rooting for it. It's like cream soda.
I don't like that shit neither.
You a sucker.
I'll be that.
But yeah, it's kind of crazy because I guess, you know, the stuff that they were going to pay in exchange for this stuff didn't equate. Like they needed to give Pepsi something that was they could sell on the international market. So the solution was they basically went into the Cold War's military budget, and there was a surplus for equipment for the armed forces. So they turned over to Pepsi a fleet of 17 Soviet Navy diesel attack submarines, along with a decommissioned cruiser, a destroyer, a frigate, as well as a number of new civilian oil tankers. And then at that point, PepsiCo was the 6th most powerful navy in the world. But it was Pepsi.
I want everybody to take one of the submarines. Like, you take a submarine just for a cruise around the ocean, just...
I would never be in a submarine. That's scary.
I'd be scared. I'd be feeling like it's just gonna cut off the.
Like, oh yeah, and then
You
it's
just
then
down
what?
there.
And then you just what? Like watch
fall down
through
to
the
the
window, you sinking. That would be
Hey,
so
shit you can
scary
do.
because you're just either waiting to drown or your
brain
brain to
explode.
pop. So you're just watching all the horrible things we haven't seen at the bottom of the ocean.
They got
Like
radios.
these
You
giant-
just radio as hell.
I'm already claustrophobic, so I get weirded out in elevators. I'd be like, ugh.
It's because of that weight limit.
Shut your ass.
I'm
All out there, you got to the end of the
I couldn't
year.
get it out fast
You
enough.
got to the end of the year.
I'm trying to hold on to this, man. I feel like even when you like
You
thin
got
as
to
a
the end of
pencil,
the
I'm gonna be
year.
like, "Get your fat ass." I got nothing else, man. Let me have this.
Oh my god.
But yes, this has been another episode of Damn Internet You Scary.
Yes.
Thank you so much to
Thanks for having
Doboy
me, man. Got my
coming through.
sister right here. You know what I'm saying? Boy right here, you know what I'm saying? It's lit.
And those jokes will probably never end, even if I cut my
Never
hair.
end.
But make sure
Quantrell
you.
always comes up
Oh,
too.
yes.
And
Quantrell is
every-
like lame now,
It's
man.
never going away,
It's
bro.
never because it's like these niggas aren't using it funny. You guys
Bro.
were hilarious with it. Literally, it would just be like a nigga like, "Where's Quantrell?"
Well,
And then everybody underneath is like, "Really?" That's it.
All right,
For
man,
sure,
appreciate y'all.
We'll see you next week.
Peace.